Welcome. This is the second session of our lesson water, and we will start with the topic purification of water. You can see here on the screen that there's a bottle. This is a plastic bottle which is taken. This plastic bottle is actually cut into two parts. So this is the top part and this is the bottom part of the bottle. Now the top part of the bottle, before cutting, what you can do, tie a piece of cloth on to its mouth. Okay. Later on, cut the bottle into two pieces and the top part of the bottle, reverse it upside down. Hold the bottle upside down. I hope it is clear now what you have to do. Take a plastic bottle, tie a clean piece of cloth over its mouth, cut off the base of the bottle. This is the base of the bottle. Hold the bottle upside down. Now what you have to do in this top part, pour some powdered coal in it. You can see a powdered coal. Coal means koila. Powdered coal here, you have to pour it. Then after that, after above the powdered coal layer, another layer will be of fine sand. Fine sand means reti. Very minute in a powdered form, we get fine sand, only reti, fine. After that, big sand particles, big, that is known as coarse sand. So you have these three layers. First you have to tie a cloth, then make three layers of powdered coal, fine sand and coarse sand. This is done. Now you have to take rubbish water. Okay, rubbish water means dirty water, and slowly pour that water from here. Slowly you have to pour, don't pour it at once. Slowly when you pour the water from here, you can see through this cloth as a filter, the water is being collected at the base of the bottle, and this water which is collected is clean. So this is a method how you are going to purify the water. This is a simple method for filtering water. Waterworks, you know what are waterworks? Waterworks are the suppose example, the water which is you are getting in your house is through the taps, but the water where it is collected, where it is stored, how it is being processed and purified, yes, for that you have to go and visit the waterwork. So which questions you should have in your mind when you are going to the waterworks? What source of water is used for the public water supply system? Source means whether they are collecting that water from the rivers or from lakes or streams. How many liters of water are purified every day? Every day, how many liters of water are purified at the waterworks? Third is, what processes are used to make the water clean, transparent, and germ-free? This I am going to explain you in the next slides, how they are making it clean, transparent, and germ-free. Then next is, in what order are these processes here? In what order are these processes carried out? And the last is, what is done to get rid of the water of bad smell? See, sometimes the water gets this bad smell. So what you can do to get rid of that bad smell? Let's see. Do you know, whenever you go outside, maybe whenever you are traveling or whenever you are traveling by train, you get down at the station and your mother or father, whoever gets down, and you just fill up the bottle from the tap water. You don't know how safe it is for your drinking. It may be dangerous. You don't know how it is collected and then stored over there, for how many days it remained over there. So never go for that. Instead of that, take the packed drinking bottles, sealed ones. Now what is there, whenever you are taking a sealed bottle, you can see the label. So what is there on that bottle? There's a label. It is labeled as the date of bottling and the period for which the water can be safely used in for drinking. It is printed on the bottle. It is very important to read the information. See, everyone, you should always read the information which is there printed on the bottle. because it will have an expiry date. Till what date you can use that water also. Not necessary that only foodstuffs can be used, even water. Then after drinking the water, what will you do with that bottle? The empty bottle must be crushed. Don't directly throw it. Crush it first and then throw it into a garbage bin, so that it is not reused again for any other purpose. Same thing I would like to tell you, that whenever your mother is using milk packets, she will only cut the top part, the corner part, and then she puts the milk and then she throws it that way. Never do that. Whenever you want to throw that milk packet, cut it into half, directly cut it into half, and then throw it. Once the milk is poured, cut it into half and then throw it in the dustbin, the best way. So those plastic bags will not be reused. Now, as I told you, I will tell you about how the water purification processes is done at the waterworks. So the first method, what they are using at the waterworks is settling of water. Means what? We always tell you, or your teacher must be telling you, settle down, sit down, settle down. Means what? Settling at one place. Settling at one place, sitting down or settling down, all the particles will settle down at one place. So that first method is settling. So the water from the water source is allowed to stand in large tanks, all huge big tanks. The water is stored. Alum is used to help the process of settling. You know what is alum? Alum means turti, or we say fitkari. That is being swirled in that water, and all the impurities will settle down at the bottom and there will be clear water up. So the first method is settling. Second is filtration. How will you filter water? So once the settling is done, then this water is filtered with the filtering machine. Filtration machine is there. So I have shown you some example of it here. You can see this type of machine or this type of pipe. It will be where the water is being put into, pour into, and then with the help of these layers, there are so many layers. Let's count: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, maybe more than that. 11 to 12 layers are there. So the water passes through this layer and it is filtered, and through this tap it will come out, the water will come out. Later on, what will happen after filtration? Oxygenation of water. Now how the water is oxygenated? Air and water are allowed to mix. You know, air contains oxygen. We need to give oxygen to water, mix oxygen in water. So air and water are allowed to mix. But how it is mixed? With the help of pumps. This causes oxygen from the air to dissolve in water. You know why? Because if there is no oxygen in water, the living things will die. Yes, oxygen is very important to get mixed with water. Otherwise, it's of no use. It is not fit for drinking. And the last step is chlorination. Chlorine is mixed with water to kill the germs in it, microorganisms. So any germs are there in the water, when you add chlorine to the water, it will kill the germs. So chlorine is mixed with water to kill the germs in it. You know, whenever you go to the swimming pools, you can see the water which is there, it is bluish in color. That means a chlorine is added to the water, and if it is more, you can actually smell the chlorine also. So this is the last step, chlorination. So first is settling, then filtration, then oxygenation, and then chlorination. Famine. Now what is famine? Famine is really dangerous. It is a natural disaster. What happens? Now look here. This is your land surface, Earth's surface. Now because of the rays of the sun, solar energy, the water gets evaporated. That means what? Water is getting, it is turning into steam. Okay. but one side it is turning into steam, other side it should rain because the water should be absorbed into the ground. This does not happen in some of the places. Rains, there are no rains, but evaporation is taking place. So when the water is not absorbed into the soil, but water is being out of the soil, out of the surface, it is evaporated, then the land becomes like this. This is a drought condition. Here what has happened? Entire water from the land is being evaporated. It is converted into steam. The level of water has gone down in the rivers, lakes, bunds, and this type of land is a drought. It's a drought condition. In this type of land, the crops cannot grow. There will be no agriculture. There will be no water for the humans and animals for drinking. There will be scarcity of water. So this entire thing is called famine, and it is a natural disaster. So you should know how to store, how to manage, how to do the water management. Now, how you can do the water management? You know, we get rain for only 4 months. So to meet the whole year's need, rain water must be stopped. How will you stop that rainwater? It should percolate into the soil. Percolation means absorbing into the soil. Absorbing of the rain water into the soil. So when this water percolates, it increases the level of groundwater. And from the wells, you can use that groundwater. So first thing, see, there are several methods which are used to make rainwater seep into the soil. So we can say dams can be built, but everywhere it's not possible to build dams. So what you can do? You can also this dams can be built, but everywhere you cannot build the dams. So you can go for another method, and that is continuous contour trenches. We can say CCT. Now see here, this picture is in your textbook where they have shown this brown color. These are actually the trenches which are dug, and in these trenches what they are storing when the rainwater comes, rainfall is there, they store that rainwater in this brown color trenches. So I have showed you the original real picture how these trenches are dug, and in that they store the rain water, and this rainwater will seep into the ground and it will increase the level of groundwater. Second thing what you can do, you can also build a bund on a stream. See, this is a bund, that is the obstruction. This is the bund which is constructed on the stream. It will stop the flow and the water remains there. Third thing, storing of rainwater in tanks or seep into the soil. Now example, this is your house or any house. There's a rainwater pipe over here, and with the help of this pipe, you can see the water, it is collected. This rainwater is collected into the tank, and this rainwater which is collected into the tank, it goes under the ground. So how it is, look at the second diagram. Now look here, in this diagram I have shown you, suppose this rainwater falls on the roof. From the roof, the rain pipe is connected, and with the help of this rain pipe under the ground. Now see, this rain pipe is under the ground. Here you can see the rainwater gets collected, that is rainwater catchment area. From there it will go to the sand filter. Again the water will be filtered over here, the rain water which is there under the ground. Then there will be a main concrete tank that we have to construct this tank under the soil, ground. Main concrete tank. So entire rainwater is collected over here under the ground into the main tank. Now, how will the people use it? From here, with the help of pump. Pumping is very important for oxygenation. So with the help of pump, you can allow the water to come up. There will be one more, this green color is a filter. One more filter, regular water, which will come into the cellar. In this cellar, again, it will go up, and this is another filter, water filter, to make the water potable. Okay, and you can utilize this water which is there in your house for your different purposes. So always remember, water is life. You should use it judiciously. That means you can say you should use your water frugally, very carefully. Do not waste water. Thank you.